Hello and welcome to Guzzling Garage, and today I'm going to restore a car, an entire car, in one video. This car. So something big in my life has changed recently, and that is that I'm now expecting a son. And what better thing to do for him before he arrives than get him a project car. And like all good project cars, this one doesn't work. I was taking some stuff to the dump the other day, that's the tip or the community recycling centre, and this was just sat there waiting, and I had to have it. So let's try and repair this and see what's what. It's a pretty natty little thing. It's even got door catches and doors that function. It's obviously steering wheel. There's some sort of button control on the steering wheel. There's another button down here as well. That feels like it might be the main on and off switch. Looking online, you can get them with like headlights and little music players and all sorts of stuff, but this one's a fairly basic one, I think. Got an accelerator as well. There's even a little opening boot on it, so I think you can put, I don't know, whatever kids carry, some sweets or something in there. And when it runs out of battery, I guess, there's a little fold-away carry handle on the front and some little fold-away wheels on the rear, a bit like a suitcase. Nice. But why doesn't it work? Is it even complete? Let's find out. So this controller looks like it's got a left and a right on it, forward and a back, and I don't know what these buttons do, to be honest with you. Two AAA's in here. I've already taken the liberty of replacing those. I don't know if, oh, that appears to work, but it doesn't do anything at the moment. There's even a seat belt, look, plush. Two Phillips screws it looks like hold down this seat. Pretty dirty, isn't it? But we can give that a clean. Okay, we're into the gubbins. So we've got what looks like it's probably a fuse, some sort of main battery fuse. A motor down the back here to drive the wheels, if you can see that. Battery, and then some sort of controller that looks like it obviously controls the motor and maybe the steering, I guess. Some other bits. Looking in here, you can see there's a cutout in this wheel well as well, so it looks like there's an option to have two motors, but this must be a cheaper model with just one. And that battery's tiny, so I would guess that's a 6 volt. Let's have a look. Unfortunately, that screw head is really chewed up and rusty. I've got no hope of getting that out anytime soon. Yeah, 6 volt battery in there. And a charging port here, it looks like. I don't have a charger for it. That hasn't come with it. But luckily we've got the remote. That's a good starting point. I don't think there'll be out wrong with that fuse. Let's start simple, shall we? Got a multimeter. Let's test the voltage on the battery. Uh, 0.3 of a volt out of 6. I don't think that's going to work. The thing with lead acid batteries is once they get below a certain point, they will never recover. So it's called the end point voltage, and I think on a normal 12 volt car battery it's 10.8 or something like that roughly is probably the end point voltage that you can never get it back from, and that is dead, scrap. Looking in where the battery mounts though, because you've got the option of having a second motor, and maybe even a 12 volt system. You can see that there's moulded in footprints here and here, and a bit more moulded space where it looks like you can fit a bigger battery, probably. Now I can't put a 12 volt in a 6 volt system. It'll run twice as fast for about 10 seconds and then it'll blow up. But I can put a bigger 6 volt battery in and therefore increase the range of the car. And we're already doing an engine swap before the little lad's even born. Oh, there's a forward and back switch there as well, look. Alright, well let's have a little measure up and see what we can get. Alright, so after measuring the space available, this is what we've come up with. Here's our original little dinky battery, and this is rated at 4.5 amp hours, and here's our new one, rated at 14 amp hours. So we've, if my maths is good, we've nearly tripled the range. Really slim side profile, which matches, roughly similar height, except this one is obviously a lot longer. But they're both 6 volts, which is the important part. So the terminals on this battery are a little bit smaller than the original, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. I'm just going to nip up these terminals a little bit so they hold on a bit better. Alright, awesome. That fits like a glove and it's pretty much as big as we can get away with, really. Yeah! Awesome! So... brilliant. Wow, well that's just great, isn't it? All it needed was a new battery and a couple of new batteries in there. Brilliant. I just need a way to charge it now. So at the same time as buying the larger battery, I did a bit of research into what I needed, and it's just a normal DC jack plug on one end, and then this, it has an output, it says 6 volts, but in reality a 6 volt battery charger will reach, I don't know, 7.5, something like that. And that's just to transfer the charge actually forward into the battery. So this takes it from a normal UK 240 volt and outputs at 6 point something or 7 point something volts to charge this battery. So with our multimeter on this new battery, we're reading about 6.5 volts, which is good, healthy battery. And I've just turned the charger on, and then that's going to put 6.2 volts in for us. Oh, 6.6, sorry. Awesome. There's a little something missing though from this area, and I do wish it was red, but I'm not going to go to the trouble of painting it all. What I've got here is one of the actual wheel caps from my F-Type, because they're just starting to look a bit scabby around the edges, and I thought some nice new ones would go well with my refurbished wheels, which I have now curved. But I've just gently cut off the little mounting tabs for this, and it's only an absolutely perfect fit there. So I'm going to glue that on. Perfect. So all that's left now is to wash and polish it and it's ready.